Okay. So I'm wondering if, because we previously loaded that save game file with the other driving gear mod enacted, that possibly that was causing an issue with the tractors. Like maybe something had been written to their code that was causing that to stop working. So first gear, second gear, you can see we're getting some serious tyre slippage. Some very strange behaviour there. Because we were driving over that thing. I didn't even see that there, to be honest with you. Now what's weird is pressing the brake is increasing the revs. So first gear, second gear, third gear, fourth gear, fifth gear, sixth gear, down to fifth. You can see it's limiting my speed, so that's 18 miles per hour. Back up to sixth gives us maximum speed of 26. So the gears are working. I think, although it seems counterintuitive, what we might need to do is put shuttle on. That'll stop the brake from being the reverse thing, if that makes sense. So we'll say OK again, and we'll come into settings and go to keybinds, get impact control, swing down here, and we'll just put gear 3. In fact, we'll just turn those off because I think that could be causing a problem. Right, gear 1 in forward, so you can see we've got a forward arrow. Gear 2, limited to 5 miles an hour. Gear 3. Gear 3 not working at the moment. Gear 4 still broken. Gear 5. And Gear 6 do work. Gear 1 limiting me to 3 miles per hour. Okay, so let's just try the reverse gear now. And that seems to be working. Okay, so although it seems counterintuitive, that's how that needs to be set up. For me, it seemed like that was giving us the opposite solution than we actually wanted. Let's try and save those again. Gear 3 and Gear 4. So it's nice that we have a proper reverse gear. That really does feel good. We have a first gear, a second gear, a third gear. No, the third gear really isn't working. A fourth gear, fifth gear, and a sixth gear. Now that might be just this tractor is incapable of doing that. Because believe it or not, despite the fact that there are no gears in this game, as I understand it from reading information on the gear add-on mod, some tractors are capable of multiple gears and others are not. So handbrake, I would like to put a handbrake on. I'm wondering if I can jam my handbrake on the neutral thing. Where's the neutral on off? There, like that. Save controls. Say OK, go back. And then when I put the handbrake on, yeah, that puts the parking brake on. And now, even if I'm in gear, oh, as soon as you go into gear, the handbrake automatically comes off, which is weird. Okay, whatever. Oh, for some reason we don't seem to be able to turn the engine on and off anymore. That's a bit strange. That's got to be something in settings. Stop and go braking off. Hard, traffic on, dirt, normal. Off. Why did all that change? Oh, perhaps because I have loaded this game into beginner mode and it's automatically set all that up for me. I don't know. I don't seem to be able to change that. That's weird. Okay, well, fine. Yeah, I think let's just set everything up because I'm on beginner. Okay. That parking brake really doesn't seem to be doing very much. Okay. So it's nice to have some gears. Let's just see what this one offers. The old Fiat. So weirdly, first gear is maximum gear. 15. Oh, this has got a third gear. But all gears in this tractor appear to be maximum speed of 15. To see if the handbrake, the reverse gear works. No. So reverse doesn't seem to work in this tractor. And I'm not sure if that's perhaps because I've changed something in the settings. Oh, in fact, the gears are not working at all. Ah, I know why. Completely forgot to set it up, didn't I? Right, okay, apologies. So we leave that on. We say 6 gears with a splitter. Full power shift. I don't understand what all these transmissions mean, to be honest with you. 2 times 6, that's what I understand. So you've got an upper and a lower. Automatic is off. Speed limiter is on. Turn that off, turn that off. I have to remember to do this with each tractor. Right, okay, let's see if we've got it now. So reverse gear, yep, that works. First gear, 2 mile an hour, 3 mile an hour, 4 mile an hour, 7 miles an hour. This is much better. 10 miles an hour, and then gear 6 should be 15. Cracking. So I'm wondering whether it's just the transmission I had set up incorrectly on that tractor then. Let's try putting the handbrake on. Now what's weird is when I put the handbrake on, it engages forward gear. So something a little bit screwy there. I imagine that's something to do with my configuration in here. But it is working. It is working. And it is working pretty well, actually. Neutral on, off. Going to get rid of... Oh. Just going to get rid of that for the moment, just because I don't think it's quite working. That can go. So I'm pretty sure handbrake was a thing in here. Or stop brake or something it's called. Park vehicle. I think that's it. Okay. Let's just try that. Go back. Yeah, that's working perfectly. Okay, good. So we're driving along. We hit the handbrake. Stops us. It's a little bit weird. But yeah, I think overall that's working. Quite impressed with that. Okay, let's go back to this tractor, change the transmission. Nope, sorry. Control C. 6 gears with splitter. Oh, that's interesting. That is how I've got it set up. Okay, it's just, as I say, each tractor should give you different gear mechanisms. So first and second work, and now third is working. Perfect. Okay, good. Great, we've got gears. We've got gears in the game. That is fantastic. And yeah, once you've got it set up and working correctly, it's pretty damn good. It's really damn good. What I'm noticing is I don't appear to have four-wheel drive options and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't think that came from the gearbox mod anyway. I think that was a mod from one of the real modules or something like that. And we've even got a handbrake now, which is cool. But to be fair, even though the handbrake thing is there, it doesn't really do anything at all. But having gears definitely making the game feel more realistic right now. They're not realistic gears. It doesn't appear to be working on a splitter system, just a 6-gear mechanism with a reverse gear, so 7 gears in total. But yeah, I mean, the fact that if I come out of gear I'm in neutral, that's an improvement over the gear add-on mod, which I could never get working. I think maybe it could have worked in that way, but yeah, no, I'm really impressed with that. That seems to be working superbly well. And for me, personally, that adds a huge dollop of realism to things, which is cracking. Okay, let's move on to something else. That's not what I meant to do. Let's press P. Let's come up here. How do I get back to... I wanted to do some terrain stuff. I'm guessing that's not in that view. Turn the engine off. Okay, so left shift and Z for the control. That's interesting. It's an interesting little bit of information. Kind of feels a bit cheaty, if I'm being honest, but okay. What have we got here? What can we do? I want to do some terrain editing, but I actually don't know how to get into that. I thought it was here. Oh my gosh. This must be a mod. What have I done there? Oh, I think that's the camera mod, isn't it? Yeah, that's the camera mod, allowing me to change my height and stuff. I might have to take that mod off, because that's kind of weirding me out a bit. Oh, and you can go below the terrain. That's nice. That's very nice. Right. Okay. So,
Their adventures continue.
If a oil will just be only by creators like this. Farm I built, time-lapse time-lapse board farm at Ravencourt. These are a slightly different version on that. Change of units. So I added the shed in. That shed. That's one. Very excellent. This area of land, see, it's quite a bit of a hill.
right, so I've just watched somebody else doing it, and they basically go here, and the terraform option is right there. So I've no idea why I don't have access to that. I'm on my own land, so that isn't the issue. I wonder if it's because I'm in beginner mode again. Let me jump out and just load into a proper full-on thing and see if it's there by default, because it's a bit weird that I can't seem to get access to it right now. Okay, so let us try and buy something. About $500,000. Pretty good. Field 19 up the top there would be nice, but I rather suspect we can't afford it. Have a look at the map. Wow, now I can't even move the menu with my Xbox 360 controller. So, I'm completely... great. I'm completely reliant on my keyboard and mouse right now then. Field 19 is... How do I do this? X. So that's exactly 500,000. Which is great, except for the fact that that means I won't actually be able to buy anything. Field 23 is 202,000. Let's go have a look over there. Because we want some nice flat ground so that we can not only build stuff on it, but also sort of increase the height of the terrain, reduce the height of the terrain, you know, really just sort of malform it into something we want. That's not perfectly flat, is it? It's quite hilly. Quite frustratingly hilly. Last. Have a look at 22. 22 is a lot bigger, probably well out of our price range. Let's have a look, see here. 280, 147. So field 21 then looks quite promising. Go have a look over there. There's that stupidly clean, crisp car. Yeah, 22 is a bit better, but I think 21 is the winner, isn't it? 21 looks nice and flat, decent amount of space. Yeah, 21 it is. Okay, cracking. Alright, let's do that then. Go over here, purchase 21, and buy. Good. Now, if I come out of this and go into here, you can have a look at some of these placeables. What should we go with? Let's say... Oh yeah, and that's popped up as well now. Start landscaping. I forgot this is basically what I came here to do, wasn't it? So we've got sculpting and we have painting. I'm not sure how you switch between the two, to be honest. Change landscaping mode is X. Okay, so this is painting, and the other one is... Wow. Having only got Q and E to rotate the camera, this is going to be a really uncomfortable, ugly experience. So I can't paint on anything that I don't own. That's absolutely fine. So the ground type we're currently using is... sort of tarmac. Something's going on. No, it's okay. Very slowly rotate. Okay, that's pretty decent. The transition between grass to concrete seems relatively gentle. It's not too bad at all. What can we do here? Change modification shape. We can have sort of circles, or we can have blocks, squares like so, which are more consistent. But that's it, the only two: circle, sort of a dome, or a square. Do switch painting ground type. And that would change this down here, yes. We have like gravel. It's a shame it doesn't tell you what it is, because I mean, there's a few things there that look very obviously. That's a dirt track. That just looks like dirt, period. That's interesting. There's quite a few types then. And then we're back at the first one, I think. Okay, so if we go and have a look at these, pretty sure that they're all flat for one. I don't think they have any physical attributes that I can see, but they're 2D textures, as it were. So for example, whereas this sort of, I wish they had names, but this marbly kind of slate, poorly tarmacked type surface here, whatever the hell you would call that, if you drove over it, I don't think it would have any effect on the tractor than the grass, the dirt, the tarmac. I think they're all the same in that regard, which is a bit of a shame, I'd say. You know, it would be great if the game had the kind of physics where, I mean, clearly this is gravel. It would be nice if you got different audio and different gravel noises as a result. In fact, maybe that's worth a try. Do you have different audio types? Good question. Seems a bit hit and miss, that star. What's the other one? X? No? C? Okay. Damn, I've run out of space. Right, so I think that's all the types. If I go back, we'll go to the shop and we'll buy anything really. Full tractor, that one. Okay, let's go grab that real quick. Alrighty, here we are. Let's come into the Control C. We'll just sort this out. So it's a 6-gear shifter, automatic off, speed limiter on, auto clutch off, off, off. I think that's all we need to do. Get this behaving like a real tractor. I think probably 4, 5 and 6 are the gears you really need to use unless you're doing something. Oh, hang on. Okay. So yeah, 4, 5 and 6 appear to be the only gears you need to use on open road. It is very stuttery today. Wasn't getting this yesterday. Concerning. Oh, actually, it's not that concerning. I have boosted the The LOD distance, the draw distance, I've boosted everything to absolute maximum. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to drive over these different textures. Excuse me. For a change, I'll be quiet. And then we can see whether or not they have any audio or physical differences of any kind. Here we go then. So somewhat disappointingly, nothing at all, no audio difference at all, not even the gravel. I thought if any of them would give an audio difference, it would be the gravel. But also, you'll notice absolutely no difference in the handling of the tractor. I mean, there's absolutely no deformation there whatsoever. So they are completely cosmetic. They have no impact on the tractor's movement or the audio. Let's jump out and just see if there's any audio change with our feet. Is that? Is it the tractor making that noise? It was, you know. It's an audio bug then. Not sure I can recreate it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was the tractor making that noise. So there are some audio bugs in the game as well. Right, so that's grass sound, and I'll just walk across and see if it makes any difference. Shame, isn't it? I mean, that's a real opportunity missed in my book, especially, you know, like gravel and tarmac, you know, clippity clop on the tarmac, and that kind of crushy, squelchy sound in there, but crunching sound on gravel. I mean, that wouldn't take in a huge amount of effort to just bind some sort of audio file to your feet when you're walking over this stuff. It's a bit of a shame. I suppose, you know, it's the first iteration, but I mean, it does sort of highlight that Giants are not the kind of company who want to do the best they can. They just do. It's like they do the bare minimum. That's how everything they do is seen by me. It's the bare minimum effort. That's what they seem to. That's what they seem to apply, which is a bit of a shame. All right. Let's buy some animals. Not horses, because that doesn't work. Let's try the dog. Because obviously that's one of the new things. I mean, who wanted a dog, really? Oh, wow, the chicken coop is huge. Now you can see I cannot get anywhere near that dog pen. Now, why on earth the collision detection is so big is beyond me. But I'm seeing it time and time and time again. So, if I hold it there, I mean, that to me looks like it's flat on the ground, okay? But if I press left control and Q, you can see, okay, so that is on the ground. And that is flat on the ground. So we were sort of there. Something like that. Let's go see the dog. Hello, dog. Pet the dog with R. It ran off before I could do it. Come here, you stupid dog. You're telling me you can't even call the dog over? Let's press R. Oh, you can call the dog. You stand here and you go, come. No, hang on. What you're telling me is that I have to be standing next to the dog in order to tell him to come home. Come, go home. So if I'm standing here, I can't call the dog. Do you remember recently I mentioned how they like to do things in a half-assed kind of way? It's like they've implemented a dog and they've implemented the fact that you can call the dog, but they haven't really done it very well, have they? How do I pick this up? X to throw, but how do I pick it up? Okay, I've got a feeling I need to change my keybinds here, because what I've done is something rather silly. So instead of jumping being that, let's have jump be Y. Then when I'm trying to get into a tractor, I press Y and I jump up and I get into the tractor. That makes far more sense than what I'm trying to do. So how do I pick something up? Maybe that's enough. Maybe that will work now. Let's just try it. Yes. Okay. Fetch! You are the dumbest dog I've ever had. Right. So. Stupid dog. Come. Right, okay, so now you're following me, okay? Is that how it works? So then... Right, didn't mean to pet you. I'm trying to pick up your ball, you stupid dog. Get out of the way. I do have a mod on that has removed the... crosshair. Okay, so the really annoying and really stupid thing is that whilst the dog is near me, I can't seem to pick up this ball. But if I get rid of the dog, I can do it. Okay, alright. Bit stupid. Right, fetch. Go get the ball. What the hell happened to the ball? So the problem is, I've got pet and pick up ball set to the same button. But there doesn't appear to be a pet button option. Oh, I nearly had it then. Did you see that? Stupid dog. I can't pick it up whilst you're here. Get out of the way. You roll on the floor. I'll pick up the thing. I got it. I got it. I got it. Okay. And let's take it away from the house, because last time it kind of auto-defaulted to the house. So, come on, Rex. Rex a million. Fetch! You stupid dog. Come here. Okay, got it. Right, Rex, go fetch. Right, okay. I didn't ask for a bloody dog. I certainly didn't ask for a dog as dumb as this one. How ridiculous is this? It doesn't do anything. Where's the ball gone? I bet the ball's gone back to the house. No. So, now I've got to fetch the ball. Stupid dog. Oh, it's rolled out. It's lucky. Not having a crosshair is great, but trying to pick up that ball without it is hard. God's sakes, Rex, come here. Stupid dog. Oh, for God's sakes, Rex, come here. I have to turn that mod off. Right. Do you know what I think this is? Do you know what I really genuinely think this is? I think this is Giants trying to be more inclusive of female gamers. Yeah? Putting a dog into the game that does absolutely bugger all. That's the kind of thing that, you know, kids and women are likely to go, ooh, it's lovely. Whereas blokes will be like, stupid dog. What a stupid dog. Do you know what I mean? Right, that took forever. So Rex, come here. Right, good boy. Go and fetch the ball. Go and get the ball. Don't look at me like that, Rex. Go and get the ball. It's your job. You don't do anything else in this game except for go and get the ball. So go and get the bloody ball. He's an idiot. He's an absolute idiot. He really is. How do I get rid of you? Go home. I despair. So brilliant. We've got a dog that gets in the way and we can't actually do anything with. You can't even pick the colour of the dog. You can't name it. You can't do anything with the dog. It's a distraction technique so that you don't notice all the bugs and the issues that this game has. This isn't one of the bugs and issues, by the way. This is because I've removed the crosshair. There we go. Where's the bloody... Where's he gone? Well, I'll be blowed. Where's he gone? God knows. Right. So, let's buy some chickens. White, black, brown, rooster. Confirm. And there they are. Cannot apparently open the gate on this one. Well, I say that. Let me try again. No. No, opening the gate doesn't seem to be an option. You can't seemingly interact with the chickens, but yeah, I mean, we've got this nice chicken hut on wheels, which is a tad weird, but yeah, okay. There's nothing in it, to be fair. No hay or anything like that. We do have these chicken feeders, which I assume we're responsible for filling. Could be totally wrong there. Might have to do nothing at all. Oh, there he is. You alright, Rex? 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 No! Oh, he's alright. Stupid dog. Yeah. So, I mean, at the end of the day, he's not even smart enough to navigate his way around the chicken coop to get back to his house. He's just a very stupid dog. A very stupid, pointless bit of animation to a game that's in desperate need of some UI updates. Oh, look at that. Now there's an issue. So when you terraform, if you have any tyre tracks, they don't terraform as well. There's a few little issues in this game. Now, I've said this a million times and nobody fucking cares, so I don't know why I bother saying it. But these big fucking YouTubers who get these games early do not do any testing at all, do they? Because nobody has highlighted this to the developers and said, oh, this is a bug that happens, the dog is thick as fuck. Nobody says anything, do they? It quite literally is, you know, here's the game early, play it so that we can sell more copies of the game before it's even released. Because as soon as it is released, people will see how buggy it is and how little effort what little effort we've put into pretty much everything. Like the shadows, for example. I mean, look at that. It's awful. Awful. I'm going to have to turn shadows off. It's so distracting. But yeah, there you go. So the tyre tracks, if you deform the ground, the tyre tracks don't map properly to the new deformed level. It's a minor thing, but you know, it's all stuff that should have been picked up in testing, and just nobody's bothered to do any testing, it seems. None of the YouTubers who had this early have done any testing at all. Scumbags. Real scumbags. I used to buy games based on what YouTuber reviews used to say. I used to think, you know, these are real genuine people. They're not part of the establishment or whatever you want to say. That's not actually how I talk, but for argument's sake, they're not part of the establishment. You know, they are genuine, honest people giving genuine, honest feedback about a game that I'm really interested in, but don't have access to. You know, it's like you can read all the bravado about the, you know, the game promotes itself in this way and says it's got all these features, and you're like, does it really? So you go and watch a YouTuber and you think, oh yeah, look, because they've shown me how cool it is, and they're telling me how everything's so much better than it was in FS19. Well, yeah, you know, to be fair, this is the best. This is the best farm sim edition I've ever seen. But my God, it's got some problems, and it could be so much better, so much easier. And why waste time, you know, making a stupid, pointless dog for the kids and the women when there's like a million blokes playing this who are fed up by the dog and, you know, distracted by the awful shadows and the LOD system, which is just a disgrace. I struggle to be positive about this game because there's so little to be positive about. That's not true. There's a lot to be positive about. There's a lot to be positive about. But there's equally, in equal measure, a lot to be negative about. I think that's the problem. It's like for every good thing, there's a bad thing. And that's how I'm seeing it right now. Do I recommend the game? In a sale, yes. 1,000,000% yes. Because it's, if you've got all the other farm sims, wait until this one goes on sale and then grab it. but only grab it if the modding community start sort of putting really decent mods in. Because if this game had seasons, it would look fantastic. It really would. If this game had realistic physics, it would just feel so much better. I mean, I've just added gears to the game, and that has added 10 tons of extra realism for me. Ooh, giants! Employ somebody with a bit of bloody common sense, will you? For God's sakes. Sorry about that, Rent. Apologies. And now I'm stuck. What am I stuck on? That was so random. Let's build something else. Let's do some actual terraforming. Let's start landscaping, as they call it. So, change the modification shape, change mode. Go X. So this is terraforming, and change strength is left control and QE. Okay, so you can see how much. Interesting. Oh right, so it doesn't bring it up to a level, it just continues to terraform constantly. What do you mean I don't own this land? Or is that my limit there? Is that bit? So that is it at its lowest strength. So what is it at its maximum strength? How aggressive does it get? Oh, that's just ridiculous, isn't it? That's just so ridiculous. When would you ever want to terraform the land like that? That's insane, is it not? Can I change the size of the... change the shape of it with C. Well, that's done absolutely nothing, is it? I've changed the shape, but yet it's still the same shape. Okay, so left is to raise, right is to lower. Oh, this is ridiculous, look. It's telling me that I don't own this bit of land that I've just terraformed. But now I can't actually... So if you accidentally did that, if you accidentally wanted to bring it up a little bit, but you had the setting set really high by accident, you're now stuck with that. There's no way of getting... Oh, no, you can get rid of it. Okay. But it's not easy. Alright, what happens if I just dig round the tractor? Bet the tractor just... Oh, okay, it won't let me do it because there's an obstruction. So if I press... Oh, this is a stupid idea. If I press both together, it will flatten the land. But that is so likely to have problems. Nope. Oh, I can get rid of it, sort of. So if I say I want to flatten it to that level over there, you can't do it. So you can't level out. Let's say I want to go there like that. Yeah, you didn't do it, did you? Why did that lower the level of that? Not good, is it? It's really clunky. Really clunky. They didn't put an awful lot of effort into it at all. Okay, so let's try and bring it all back down to this level, which is the level of the field. Now we've got these ridiculous ditches all around the edge. So if I press the middle mouse button, that should smooth it, apparently. did smooth it a bit here, but I think there's an issue with because my land only works up to here. Once I've built something, I can't then smooth it out. See, this side is okay. If I rotate around here, you can see that that has smoothed out what was a very aggressive sort of sharp incline. But because I don't own this bit of land, I can't do anything there. Let's just use this as an experiment to see if I can fix it. So raise. Jesus, that's aggressive. That's the kind of accidental mistake I'm talking about. I didn't intend to do that. What I meant to do... How do I change the aggressiveness of it again? Change strength. Left control and Q. Now, where's the visual information that I'm changing that? There's absolutely none, is there? That's shocking. Let's change the shape, because I think the shape, when it's in a... Yeah, so you can actually see it change when it's in this shape. So I'm not sure what the point of being able to change to the dome is. What is the benefit of that? How does that help me? Great. So you're going to be... It looks like you're going to be stuck with this problem. So let's level all this out to this height. And now we've got this trough-like shape that I cannot in any way get rid of. So that's pretty poor. That's pretty poor, the way that that sort of happened. This is not a good bit of kit, I'll be honest with you. And it seems like I can't fill in that gap because my tractor's there. I wonder what happens if I get in my tractor. Will it fall down that hole? I'll get in my tractor. What's going on? I think maybe that's a keybind issue then. So my mouse has disappeared. Oh, there we go. It's come back. So odd. My mouse completely disappeared. Right, what was I going to do? Change the jump. Not sure why that's bound to anything. That shouldn't be. Get rid of that. Do I even need the jump option? Probably not a huge amount. Just bind it to that, I suppose. Okay. Enter vehicle is still set to that. So surely now you're not gonna make me fall into the hole. That's good. Unless I move. Okay. Well, that's fair enough, actually. That's fair enough. That's kind of what you would expect. But you're going to end up with these bloody great big chasms all over the place. Purely because of the terraforming tool being so poor. I mean, I could lower the the height of the ground that I own, but then, well, I suppose I would. But then you're going to have a whopping great big hill there. They're not impressive. They're basically functional, but they're not impressive. So, yeah, a lot of work needs to be done on this game, but even with all the issues and all the bugs and all the annoyances and the continuous lack of any acknowledgement that the community feels certain things are wrong or need improving, like gears need to be added, you know, any consideration like that is just purely ignored by giants. And I feel like they are disrespecting and not grateful enough for the modding community that are behind this game. Without the mods in this game, I don't think it's worth its asking price. I really don't. I wouldn't play this in vanilla if you paid me to. I couldn't. It would just irritate me too much. Maybe 6 months down the line, with the new terraforming tools that are supposed to be coming out that they're working on now, you know, 6 months down the line, maybe that will be better. And I do like the idea of being able to build your own farm and, you know, make it look and feel how you want it to. But with these tools, it's just going to be a stress fest. It's not going to be fun at all. It's not going to be an enjoyable experience. And also, you know, one thing that you'll find is if you make a mistake and you undo it, then all the damage that was done during placing an item, that will remain. It doesn't remove afterwards. So as it is right now, I'd say no. It's still a buggy, it's a horrible buggy mess, and there's so much quality of life issues that could so easily be fixed that they just ignore constantly. But with all that being said, this is the best FS19 framework that they've ever released. The graphics are better, there's more content, there's horses, which at the moment I can't even use, but yeah, it is the best that they've released. The fact that you can change keybinds on the fly is good, but then there are keybinds that are missing and other issues where some keybinds stop. So you can bind the same key to two things, like jump and get in a vehicle. And previously in FS17 and 15, that would allow you to jump and get in the vehicle at the same time. But now it seems, because jump is higher up in the list, that takes precedent. So unlike CSS, which is a cascading style sheet, the rule below it should overrule the rule above it. But it just doesn't seem to work in the game anymore. So you can't now bind get in tractor and jump to the same button. So even though you can physically do it, bind it to the same key, what you'll find is you have to bind them to two different things. Now we'll just very, very finally just check that. So I can get in the tractor and get out the tractor, okay? And that's the jump. So both those things work independently of each other. And it may just be because we were balancing over that abyss just now that stopped it from working. So I am going to test that theory. I could be wrong. So now jump is on Y and getting tractor is on Y. And now I can't get in the tractor, which is exactly what I just said to you. But the cascading style sheet effect isn't in place. It never was in place, but what used to be the case was if I pressed Y to jump whilst I was near a tractor, I would still get in the tractor. So they've actually made the game less user-friendly by doing stuff like that. This whole key binding thing is a real disaster. I've never been impressed with it, I'll be honest with you. I am glad that you can now change keybinds. I am glad that you can now change keybinds on the fly, because you're never able to do that. But yeah, you know, that's just one. It's just another annoyance. It's another thing that could have been picked up by these early access YouTubers, but they're too bone idle, or they're paid too much money to promote the game that they feel like they can't highlight any of the issues with it. I guess. I don't know. Fucking winds me up, I tell you. I could get into fisticuffs over this shit. I really could. Fucking winds me up. They're ripping people off. They're lying to you. They're fucking lying to you. But they've got so many views, so many supporters that are all just brainwashed by them for fuck knows why. Honestly. That's what this game does to me now. This used to be my chill out game. Now it fucking winds me up. And this is the best iteration that they've produced by quite a margin. It just goes to show, really, how bone idle they've been all these years. Thanks for watching, guys. I need to go and have a break. Till next time, bye for now.